Welcome, everyone, to this week's Menlo Midweek podcast. My name is Mark. We have Suzy back with us.
Howdy.
And Phil's back on the podcast.
I'm back. They let me back in.
It's been a minute, buddy.
That's right. I finally found my key, got into the building. Here I am.
The security guards didn't stop you?
No.
Wow.
We're a little thin in early December, so I got
I'm
by
going to have to give them a talking to after this.
Yep.
Well, Phil, what's been going on? What have your last couple weeks look like?
We were in Tahoe last week.
Awesome.
Just as a family, enjoying Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And then, I feel like our fall was a lot of random chaos. And ironically, Christmas kind of slows it down.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot going on, but it's all here. And so kids are wrapping up school stuff. Maisie's done with her musical. Little boys are, pumped about Christmas. So we're in it now, man. We're good.
What was musical?
She was Sandy the squirrel in SpongeBob the musical.
That's awesome.
And she crushed
That's
it.
incredible.
I mean,
So good.
dude, she's so good. She takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sweetheart, you're so much better than everyone else. And she's like, you have to say that. And I'm like, I don't actually. But and she's been the lead in a bunch of shows at her school. And we were going to the car, and there was a mom with her daughter. Mm-hmm. And the mom with her daughter in the parking lot is like, oh my gosh, you guys are Maisie's parents? She's so great. I tell my daughter to be more like Maisie all the time. And I'm like, thanks, but also probably don't do that.
Are you scarring your child right now?
Yeah, that seems bad, but I get it. I mean, I understand. She's amazing. But yeah, it was fun. She did a great job.
Awesome. Suzy, what does the last couple weeks look like for you?
Well, Thanksgiving, great. We're
Awesome.
really blessed that we've got this circle of friends. And, because it's friends, we're lacking on a lot of the whole head-butting,
Okay.
family
Yes.
issues that a lot of people have. But it's friends that we've been celebrating this with for 15 years.
Wow.
So the tradition is the kids have always sat on the staircase for an all-kid
Okay.
picture. Yeah. And these ain't kids anymore. These are people in their 20s.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of awesome. Time passing. And then, getting out the Christmas lights, getting the tree, getting to wear the sweaters again.
Yeah.
It's big.
That's so fun.
Oh, it's the best.
It's our first Christmas with Micah. He came a month after Christmas last year. And so he's just adorable, just in general, but then even more so now because he's just crawling around, pointing at all the Christmas lights.
Christmas wonder, man. Christmas wonder.
He's got so much wonder, dude. It's amazing. He'll get so excited, and then he'll kind of forget that something's in the living room, and then he'll remember and put his head down and crawl super fast and then go point at the tree. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's still there. It's pretty sweet.
Didn't disappear.
Yeah. As we were talking about this, it just kind of got my mind going. Phil, do you have any advice or how does your family do Christmas gifts? We're trying to set traditions for Micah. We don't know what is people's different approaches to gift giving to children, gift giving to spouses. What's that like for you guys?
Yeah. So, I think so. My context growing up was I grew up in an abusive home. Christmas was the overcompensation holiday. So my mom and my dad would for that holiday always go overboard, and all the gifts would be under the tree. It was definitely more quantity than quality.
Okay.
And you just sort of tore into it. It was just full chaos. And then every year, I'm the youngest of four. Every year, one of us would get or every 4 years, you'd get a big gift.
Got it.
So you kind of knew which year was yours. And so it'd be oh, you got a stereo or, whatever the thing was. And then Alyssa grew up where her parents were very clear what their budget for her was.
Okay.
And so if she wanted a nice thing, she could get that nice thing, but she would get nothing else. Gotcha. And Alyssa is high gifts, high efficiency. So she was I never did that. I wanted good deals on things to get to that. And so, for us, something that we're trying this year, because I think that Christmas is really easy, especially with kids, for things to get out of hand. And with little kids, I always felt I could take some of the silly things that we have in a toy bin that they haven't played with in 6 months, put in a bag and put under the tree, and they'd be like, ooh, this is new. That was how silly it was. So just how much money are we really thinking we're going to spend here? And so something we're trying this year is the like, what is it? Something you want, something you need, something to wear, something to read. So those categories, every kid will get 4 gifts. And so they probably got, 4 or 5 gifts from us, and then some gifts from family members or friends. They were doing fine. They were doing fine. I do stockings, and Alyssa's, and then she'll do mine and the kids. And like I'll kind of consult if there's a question mark on kid gifts. But I think that, the big advice I would give to parents is don't let your kids set the tone or the temperature for what gift giving is going to look like in your home, because in what is the show, The Greatest Showman, that musical, it will never be enough. It's never enough, never enough. And so, and I said it this weekend, anything in your life without a boundary is an idol. Yeah. And I think that it is really easy for gift giving and Christmas and sort of the trappings of the celebration to trap you into the expectations that culture has for you. So yeah, I think that's what we're trying. I'll let you know. I'll report back on how that goes. But the reason that we're trying it is because we're regularly trying to figure out how do you curtail that. And as your kids get older, their gift requests get more expensive too. So what we could get away with 4 kids under 10 is a lot different with a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old and an 11-year-old. Yeah. And Wells at 6 has 13-year-old taste because he's got big brothers and sisters. So, and then I think that anything you can do in this moment that's like family activity, something that's down the road. So we had a big vacation that we did last summer, and we sort of partially packaged that as a Christmas present, so that there was some connection to it that way too. But those are some of the ways we do it.
Cool. Suzy, how do you navigate adult kid gifts?
I know, right?
Yeah, it's a whole different thing.
It's a whole different thing. Just something Phil said is something that we had done when the kids were in their teenagers, and we knew they loved to travel. We would get each of them a Lonely Planet book from wherever we were going to take them.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's fun.
that worked out really, really well because they were kind of nerdy kids, and so they'd like pour through, and they would itinerize for us when we went to, I think one was Hungary and one was Croatia, and like the kids picked it, and I'm like, guys, that's so cool. Yeah. So that was fun, and we've been struggling a little bit with now that they don't live with us, we don't exactly know what they want, what they need, what they'd wear or what they'd read. But that's a good framework. I think we're having them over for our traditional Colbert Christmas tomorrow night.
Okay.
And if you guys haven't seen Colbert Christmas, seriously.
I don't know what this is.
Oh my gosh, it's the best Christmas special.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Is it like every year there's a Colbert? This is like a thing that existed, and you watch the same thing every year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
What platform is it on?
Amazon Prime.
Okay, all right.
think.
Colbert Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
Interesting.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
That's good. Thanks.
But yeah, the kids, and again, the kids have seen it like 20 times now. So they know it by heart, but it's full of life wisdom. I feel bad for the Jonas Brothers, but that'll make more sense. after you see it.
Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but their willingness to come keep doing the goofy little kid things, it means a lot to me, and I like to think it means something to them as well.
Yeah. It's kind of fun balancing like my extended family and then on Missy's side and then my family on my side, because growing up, their family all got gifts for each other, complete chaos. Everyone opens at the same time. My family, it was a little bit more like orderly, like one person will open, go in a circle kind of a thing. So like when we first came together, both of us were just wide-eyed.
This was Alyssa and I for sure.
Yeah.
And we do one gift at a time now. We wait just like, because I literally, when I first went up there, I had no framework for what I was watching. The first time she saw it with my family, I told a story this weekend about one of my siblings who came into a bunch of money. And then, I'm telling you, 6-figure money.
Okay.
And spent more than the money on Christmas for that year. And it was just full chaos, rip open the gifts. And so at one point, someone in my family is opening, I don't know, I'm guessing like a $10,000 or $15,000 diamond necklace.
Jeez.
And we're not even stopping to look at it because everyone is just, it's like, oh, there's an iMac. There's like, that's the scale of, you're like, what are we doing right now? And I was a teenager at the time. And even I was like, this is irresponsible.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't do this. This is
Yeah.
a bad idea. So, and it was a terrible idea.
Wow.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Everyone would have thought. If you
Yes.
would have thought, you would have thought that.
Yeah.
So
That's a good way to say that.
And if that sibling who is still alive and maybe listening to this now is, I still love you, but that was stupid.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Phil, let's dive into your message from this last week. If people are like, what the heck are you talking about? What kind of message was this? Let's fill people in.
Yeah, so we're approaching this series, the kind of idea of "Come all ye faithful" is this classic line from a song around Christmas time. And it's, like really sweet. "Come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant." And like, I think that a lot of Christmas can feel like that.
Yeah.
And we feel the pressure that sometimes that can put on us because it points back to the first Christmas, to the celebration of Jesus, to like all these cool things. But we go like, I don't always feel that way. Like I'm coming into Christmas exhausted, right? I'm coming into Christmas joyless, hopeless. And so we ask the question, what would it look like to take that vantage, right? Because really, Jesus is kind of saying, "Come all ye faithless, come all ye joyless, come all ye hopeless." And so this week we looked at, "Oh, come all ye joyless," and we looked at it through the lens of the Luke 1 passage near the end of the chapter where Mary meets Gabriel, and Gabriel lets Mary know that she is going to be pregnant by the Holy Spirit with the Messiah. And then, Mary, in this pretty tight exchange, asks how that's possible, gets, for most people, I would think not enough information, right? Like not enough detail to be like, I'm in. Yeah. And she goes, "I'm the Lord, so if this is what he wants, let it be done." Wow. And it's this amazing snapshot of an internal steadiness that likely a 13 or 14-year-old girl in Mary, young woman in their culture, has cultivated in her, and probably had people in her life who had cultivated in her. She had found favor with God and ultimately becomes the earthly mother of Jesus. It's wild.
Very wild.
Yep.
Talk about having different expectations and a whole different
set
of
for sure.
What is going to happen over these next couple months.
Like Joseph, did we already make the deposit for the honeymoon? Right? Like, can we cancel it?
Yeah. Something I thought you said was interesting was that Mary's life, by all accounts, was like, it was going pretty good.
Right.
Like she was engaged to someone. It seemed like they were happy that they were expecting to have marriage pretty soon.
Yep.
He was in the trades, and it was like a steady job there. And so, for that to happen, and then God to give an invitation to something that is so full of doubt, fear, what is happening, and almost a complete opposite of, you have control over your situation now. You can kind of see what the 5-year plan is. It's pretty good. Here's an invitation to do something completely opposite. Like that dichotomy in that moment, I was like, whoa, I don't know if I could have been as on board as quickly as she was.
Just think about the milestone moment like that for you, where you're like getting ready to marry the love of your life, and everybody's showing up, and it's like the night before your wedding, and then an angel of God comes and says, "Hey, I'm going to do a thing that everyone's going to misunderstand." No one believed Mary.
Right.
Like, it took an angel for Joseph to be down about this. Like, so everybody in their life that was rooting for them, that was proud of them, that was ready to celebrate with them goes, I'm gonna need to change my RSVP, right? Like, and Mary's still going. Like, I see down the corridor of time. I know the cost that this is going to take, but if this is what God wants for me, He's been faithful in my life. I trust Him to be faithful in this. Go for it. And I think, like, man, I aspire to that kind of surrendered posture with my life.
Yeah. Something, too, that was interesting about that is when we see characters in the Bible interact with angels, oftentimes it's not met with an immediate, sure, I'll do that. It's I'm running away.
Right.
I'm on my knees shielding my face because I think I'm going to die.
Right.
And so what do you think it was about Mary that she responded in that kind of a way?
Yeah, I think it probably tells us a lot about her family and community. This wasn't something that Mary cultivated in the last couple hours, right? This was probably this idea of, hey, I believe in God. I believe in the God of Israel. I believe that He has a future for us. At that point, they'd been waiting hundreds of years without a prophet. And they know they're waiting for a Messiah. And so all of a sudden for her, she's got so much hope in that future that when she finds out she gets to be the mother of the Messiah, whatever it would circumstantially cost her. She'd had this framework of her whole life to say that's more valuable than whatever circumstances or comfort I could have otherwise.
Yeah. It's just, and someone else we were talking pointed this out too. Is like it's just such a different response from Joseph that we watched, or from Jonah that we watched for 4 weeks, a couple weeks before this, of doing just the exact opposite of everything God was asking at every moment.
Well, and in Jonah, it wasn't an angel; it was God Himself,
Right.
and He wasn't a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
He was a professional prophet who did this for his job.
Yeah.
So that should be a warning sign for us, right? To go like, don't think that just because you've been doing this a long time, or because you call yourself a mature Christian, you think this would never happen to me, because it happened to somebody probably more mature than you.
Yeah.
Well, and I like how, was it last week, Zacharias is like, good idea, Gabriel, but I don't think this is feasible. And Gabriel's like, hush.
Yes.
Definitely.
So Mary didn't get that treatment. Good
Right.
girl.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Another key theme of this message was kind of comparing the idea of happiness and the idea of joy. I think we're singing. We've been doing this pretty awesome thing in the morning where we'll wake up early with Micah. We will put on some Christmas music. We'll have breakfast together. We'll go through the Come All Ye Faithless Advent devotional that we're doing in the morning. And then Nancy from the Menlo Park team, if you don't know Sweet Nancy, who helps out with the legacy service there, she gave the Menlo Park team a little Advent calendar. So we've been doing the Advent calendar with Micah right after we finish the devotional. It's pretty great. But I was just thinking about how many of the songs are talking about happiness, and this is the happiest time of the year. But we're seeing that happiness maybe isn't all that it's meant to be. So Phil, let's chat a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think happiness is one of those things where, when we take good things and we make them ultimate, they stop being good for us, And I think happiness is like that, where happiness isn't bad. It's a really bad idol. It's a really bad thing to say, I have to be happy all the time. And when we let something that's circumstantial be the target, then it means like I've got to control all of my circumstances all the time. And that's a really exhausting way to live. And so, the contrast between joy and happiness, joy is a state of inner peace regardless of my circumstances. Happiness is a surface level emotion that I experience largely as a result of my circumstances. And so I think when we experience happiness, we should experience it. That's great, man. That's a gift. Fantastic. But when it's not available, when the circumstances don't dictate it, I think trying to manufacture it gets real expensive. And the return on that investment is very, very poor. And a lot of times, especially around Christmas, the way that people get to happiness if their circumstances aren't happy is real bad. So it's bad habits, it's addictions, it's substance like alcohol, it's overspending. It's all these things that you're incentivized by culture to over-index on to change your immediate circumstances. And while your immediate circumstances may make you immediately happy, or I would argue most of the time just immediately numb, the long-term consequence of that immediate choice is bad. And so when we're living for circumstantial happiness rather than sustaining joy, we're making the wrong investment. And I think we all know it. Like I think an unchurched person's like, I wouldn't put faith language in it like you just did, but I get it. Like I blow my life up with stupid choices. And I think the story of Mary is this beautiful picture of like what happens when we don't let that be the target of our lives.
Yeah, that's great. Suzy, what was sticking out to you about the message, and what questions do you have for Phil?
Yeah, so again, it was coming back to the joy versus happiness. And I think the thing that just kind of landed like boom is, you have to earn happiness, and it will exhaust you to have that as your target. And as, we get so easily exhausted. I'm like, okay, pause, step back. And then I think it layered on last week's where Joe actively said, let's look at what we fear, right? It's the hopes and fears of all the years. And I think, again, back to the numbing, sometimes we chase happiness, the pursuit of happiness, but anytime anything that we fear pops up, we're like, we can't look at that. Nope, can't have fear and happiness. So this was, kind of deep and profound that it's okay it's okay to look at the bad stuff, to look at the stuff you did not necessarily invite or want, but it's there. And by naming it, you can come to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was super useful. And for those who take pictures of the 1, 2, 3, yeah, really good.
The 1, 2, 3s are always helpful.
The 1, 2, 3s, yeah.
Definitely. There's something about that control piece where we so often try to prescribe happiness into our lives through control, where whether that is making myself not feel any kind of discomfort, or I think there is something in your message along the lines of like God's favor often brings disruption,
Right.
and disruption is not control. So therefore, I don't want that.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
So how can we posture ourselves in a way to be secure enough in our faith to be able to say, you know what, I will welcome disruption because ultimately that road will lead me to a deeper sense of joy and a deeper sense of purpose. And that's the aim, that's the target, not the immediate, hey, can I be happy for the next X amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of times the way that we learn that lesson is we look at what the wrong choices have done in our lives and the lives of people around us, right? So it might be difficult for you, especially if you have bad examples around you, it might be difficult for you to like spotlight it in your own life and go, here's what I remember when I made this choice. And this, as you get older, I think you have more examples like that you can look at and go, I really colored outside the lines here and this was not great. But then you also have people in your life that you go, man, they just made so many stupid choices, and they just like kept doubling down on stupid choices. There are people that the friends of mine that will ask me questions, and I love them, and they love Jesus. They're gonna be in heaven for the most part. Like, I mean, not most of them. Most of the friends that I have that are asking me questions like this are Christians. But they just like, they have these patterns of stupidity and they will ask me questions and I give them feedback. That's like probably not perfect advice, but it's like directionally accurate.
Sure.
And I'm giving them the advice and I know in my mind, they are not going to listen to this advice. They are going to make a stupid decision. And it happened very recently. Somebody called me and they go, hey man, I did this, this, and this. And I'm thinking, like, the exact opposite choices that I told you to make 3 months ago. Yeah. And I'm like, yep. And he's like, this bad thing happened, and this bad thing happened, and this bad thing happened. And it's like, what do I do now? And I just wanted to be like, don't make stupid choices anymore. And obviously trying to manipulate and control, like, you can't do it. Like, and I think that there's, I think there's a counterproductive nature when we try to manipulate and control. Most of the time, the things that we're doing that to, we're actually having a corrosive impact on. It's not helping. There was a kid at Midweek Mix, is an event that we host here at the Menlo Park campus once a week. And when I can go over there, I just go over and hang out with middle school students with our team and, try to just be a friendly face. There's like 120, 130 kids that were there yesterday. It was amazing. And this girl rolls up, not a church kid, and her pedal falls off of her bike. And she can't ride it, obviously, so we like pull the bike off the road for her, and I look at the pedal and I'm trying to put it on. Well, it turns out that the pedal, the threads of the pedal had stripped. And so what your instinct was like, I'm going to put this into the crank arm of the bike harder. But the harder you would do it, the more damage it would cause. And I think that's such like a crazy lesson for us in relationships with people and kind of in our relationship with God, that the more we try to control it, the more damage we do. If I was speaking like Gen Alpha language, I'd say there's like a fine line between being hungry in life and being thirsty in life. You do not want to be thirsty. And so being hungry to say, I want to grow, I want to experience all that God has for me, but I'm willing to be submissive to the timeline that God has for that. I'm willing for it to look different than I assume that it looks like. Thirsty is like, I'm going to force this so that I can get what I want, when I want, how I want, and that will always blow up.
How do I know I'm making a dumb choice? 'Cause I'm sure your buddy didn't think he was making a dumb choice. Or somehow he was able to convince himself that the choice, even though it may be dumb, was worth it. What have you seen in people or in communities that have helped each other make good choices?
Well, Suzy, I'm going to ask that question of you in a second because I would be curious for you, just like thinking back on life and parenting, I think this has shifted.
Yeah.
Here's the way I describe it to my teenagers. So we have a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. I'm walking through. Have I talked about this book I'm doing with them?
Yeah.
So I'm reading a book with them. It's like 12 things teens should know about faith or something by Paul Tripp.
Okay.
And so it has like a daily devotional format, and then once a week we get together and talk about that whole week's thing and stuff. Cool. Just the three of us. It's great. And in part of it, I just, kind of identified in this idea of wisdom that in my mind, I think about it a little bit like a pyramid. So at the but a reverse pyramid. So at the top level, what's most available is information. It's not all true or correct information, but we've never had more information available than we do right now. AI will even invent information. Like we have unlimited information. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. And then knowledge is true and helpful information. That has never been more difficult to deduce or find. So it's never been easier to find something. You just don't know if it's accurate. It's never been harder to find what's true and helpful. And then wisdom is knowledge applied. So if you have, information is just whatever, true or untrue, unhelpful or helpful. Knowledge is what's helpful and true. Wisdom is knowledge applied. And wisdom is always imparted scripturally through people. Always. You cannot gain wisdom without people. You will not YouTube wisdom. You will not, what is the guy's name? Andrew Tate your way to wisdom. It's going to take, if you're a young man, it's going to take an older man investing in you. If you're a young lady, it's going to take an older woman investing in you. And if you go, well, where did you get that? The New Testament of the Bible. It literally says that. And I think that is such a unique commodity that the church offers, a resource that is so scarce in our culture. And chatbots or YouTube or podcasts, it's not that they can't be helpful. They have their place. But I think if you're going, how do I know I'm going to make a bad choice? I think that you should assume that you are predisposed to making bad choices.
Yeah.
And you should assume the younger and less experience you have in a particular subject, the more likely you are to make bad choices. There are times in my life where someone has given me counsel and I trusted their counsel so much that I didn't agree with it and I did it anyway.
Wow.
Because it was like I don't trust myself and my instincts are wrong.
Yeah.
So I would rather be wrong trying their advice than right trying mine. And maybe they'll be wrong, but I'm telling you 99 times out of 100 they were right.
Yeah.
And the times that I was like, I'm going to do this, I call it the stupid tax. When I would say, I'm going to do this my way, I'd pay the stupid tax over and over and over again. I had a mentor in college. He would start off his stuff. He would say, hey, Phil, do you need to invent the wheel? I'm like, no, I don't need to invent the wheel. Why not? Because it's already been invented. It's like same thing in life. There's like a whole bunch of lessons that have already been learned. You don't have to learn them again. Just walk through the learning that other people have had. So, yeah, I think that's hard because we're prideful. I don't want to think that I need someone else's counsel, but I think even now, when I sit down with someone who's been in ministry for 2 or 3 decades longer than I have, and they say something, there are plenty of times where I'm going, man, there are times I need to take their word for it. I need to give it more weight than I'm giving my own instincts.
That's good. What do you think, Suzy?
Well, so when I keep thinking about stupid things that I do, it's usually it's driven by emotion, right?
Yeah.
You're triggered. You know something's gonna lead to things getting worse, but you do it anyhow because you just need to. White knuckling, right? We were talking about white knuckling, and it's just sometimes you just can't make the right choice, and that's where people, you need wise people that you can rely upon, but you also need to just take a step back and ask God for help, right? Because there's a place of joy and peace, and then there's just so much else, and the dumb stuff comes when you just sort of keep hoping for the best, and instead of making changes and asking for help and doing differently, hoping doesn't work, and that's what we tell the kids, right? You're like,
Hope is not a strategy.
well, and if nothing changes, nothing changes. Let's see, what we got other wise
That's
ones
good.
about the wisdom of deciding versus sliding into whatever's
Yeah,
easiest.
that's good. That's a banger right there.
Right.
Say that again.
What, nothing change? If
No,
nothing
the
cha-
wisdom of deciding rather
Oh,
than
well,
sliding.
if you're not deciding, you're sliding.
Yeah, that's a good word right there,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
So,
I like
you know,
that a
that's
lot,
what you
Suzy.
ask kids if, you know, they're doing something and you're like, did you decide that? Or did you just sort of, you know, path of least resistance? And again, it can be uncomfortable to like think about stuff that you just did because you didn't want to think about it. So you're not always the favorite parent who asks them. So walk me through your decision process when
Yeah.
a lot of times it wasn't a decision.
I think that I would say too, if you have a track record in a particular area or category that's a bad track record, that's probably an area you should just pre-decide.
That's good.
Like for me in high school, that was girls. I should not have trusted any of my instincts with girls. Not one. They were all broken. And there were people in my life that were trying to give me wisdom about that. And I was like, I know better. I did not know better than an inanimate object as it related to decisions about girls in high school. I made every stupid choice. It was the grace of God that I didn't make worse choices. That's so, you know, if you're somebody where every decision you've made about money for the last 5 years has backfired,
Yep.
you should not trust your instincts about money. If every decision you've made about friendships has been wrong, these are areas you need help and support. And you're going to need it from people, not just information. You can't just Google it. You can't just ask ChatGPT about it. Get into community and ask people who are further down the road, who have made great choices about this stuff, who they're going to pour out wisdom. It's just going to ooze out of them. They'll be like a sponge. And then you can just soak it up. And then you have to go, I'm going to choose to submit my instincts to their wisdom.
I think that's so good. What comes to mind too is like who you're surrounding yourself with and what you're taking in and how is that affecting the person that you are and the decisions that you're making as well.
Yeah, we've probably said this line before, but what I say in student environments all the time is, if you show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Your future is by and large the quality and direction of the 5 closest people to you.
Yep.
And so if you don't like how their life is going, you will not like how your life is going.
Yeah.
That's another one of those where it's like, you know, they're with friends that are idiots and they're like, well, it's going to be fine. Like, it's not going to be fine. Like, they're going to get you in trouble. You're going to do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
That's a tough one, though.
It really is.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, speaking of the future, I wanted to ask you, Phil, for a little update. We haven't had you on since our 1-year check-in of Hope for Everyone.
Right.
So we're 1 year into our 3-year campaign. What are your thoughts? How's it going?
Dude.
Where's it going? All of that
Unbelievable.
stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think, to think about where we were. So, cards on the table, we thought we were going to start Hope for Everyone last spring. Okay. So we started it about 6 months earlier than we thought. It was for a number of different reasons, but it meant that we went 0 to 60 real fast. And so last fall, our staff were hosting vision gatherings at campuses. Our elders stepped up so huge to do dozens of gatherings in people's homes. I was having so many cups of coffee and so many meals with people for probably, I mean, not exaggerating, I would say for 3.5 or 4 months, there was not an available minute on my calendar any day. And to hear the heart of people that were like, okay, this heart of kind of the next 3% of the Bay Area and bigger than just Menlo, and seeing God do something in the Bay Area that we've never seen before, something so big we can't take credit for it, something that would help us be a part of exporting hope all around the world at this moment where we're exporting technology at a faster and bigger scale than we ever have before. Wouldn't that be amazing? It was so cool. So much sort of like deferred steps that we've needed to take for years that now we'd be able to take together. Being able to see us go from the first weekend after Hope for Everyone last year, we were at like 20%. Now we're at more than 75% of Menlo saying yes to being a part of financially investing in the future. Those are just numbers that churches don't see.
Yeah.
And I think I'm so grateful and humbled by people that call Menlo home, people that really do believe in the future of that. Progress that we've been able to make at every single campus in the last year, looking for buildings for Mountain View and San Mateo, major projects of improvement for Menlo Park and Saratoga. We've got a church network. We just added like 35 churches to it. Awesome. We got a church network of almost 140 churches now throughout the Bay Area, part of Transforming the Bay for Christ with 800 churches linked. We've been a part of giving away more than $1 million in church planting this year alone.
Amazing.
We'll be a part of an organization who will help support up to 2,000 church plants throughout California in the next decade. And so, honestly, if you would have told me that stuff a year ago, I've been like, us and what army, you know? And I think that's just favor of God stuff.
Yep.
So I do not say this, you know, these 3 years are really a down payment on the 10 years. But I don't say this to be braggadocious. I don't say this as a flex. I really do think that 10 years from now, we're going to think that 3% was a small number. I think we're seeing a move of God in the early change of temperature spiritually for the Bay Area that no one could have seen coming. And we just want to steward it well. Yeah. We don't want it to become politicized. We're not trying to do it for our own personal gain. We're just saying, man, secular humanism has failed catastrophically. And the place that it got tested the most, you can have this secular utopia, was Silicon Valley, and it didn't work. And Jesus has been waiting the whole time for people to try. And so it's been a real joy to be able to see some of that. There's not a week that goes by that I don't hear really amazing and encouraging conversations about what it's doing in the lives of people who have said yes and about what's happening as a result. I got to tell a church planter yesterday that we were helping them financially because of Hope for Everyone. Right. And I mean, they had been praying for they've been praying about this pretty big need that they had. And they felt like the Lord had given them a very specific number that he was going to show up and say, I want to give you confidence. This is going to come. And I didn't know that. And I didn't know what the number was. But our team that discerns that was like, hey, this is the number we feel like God's calling us to. It was the exact same number. And so your moments like that, you're like, okay, God, so this is bigger than us. Okay, got it. Cool. Yeah. And so, Menlo's, that's like the cool thing about being at a church that's been around for 150 years. We're links in the chain. I'm grateful to leaders I don't know the names of. Yeah. And so Menlo Church is not mine, it's God's. The people of Menlo Church are not my people, they're God's. And so I think as long as we maintain that posture, the Lord is going to continue to bless it. So grateful for people continuing to invest and really looking forward to the steps of improvement that we have planned this next year and opportunities to have kingdom impact as a result.
Yeah, it's so exciting.
It's amazing, man.
It's really amazing.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Phil, thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely.
I need to talk with the security guard to make sure
come on
the next time.
Yeah. And I mean, I would just say this is coming out Wednesday. We've got two what do we call it right now? The concert.
We have 2 times for our Night of Carols.
That's what it's called. I was like, there's a
Christmas concert at the Menlo Park campus, 6:30 and 8 o'clock. This is the first year in a long time, maybe ever, that we're doing 2 service times.
First ever. Yeah. Because it was like standing room only the last 2 years.
Yeah, we were almost having to turn people away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yes, this is an event that I invite all my friends, relatives, family, Christian or not. Like, this is something that is such a low invite
good.
Because the caliber is, it's
good.
like a whatever. The Colbert Christmas special. Like this will probably rival that.
Yeah.
So that's happening on the 12th.
Yep.
6:30 and 8 o'clock, Menlo Park campus. We've got Giving Tree donations. We collected over 700 gifts this past November. We're going to be distributing those at our San Mateo, Mountain View, and Saratoga campuses. Should be awesome. And then we have Christmas Eve services right around the corner. 23rd at Menlo Park, 24th everywhere else, and Menlo Park. So lots to look forward to. Menlo.church/Christmas for all Christmas things. Menlo.church/hope for all Hope for Everyone things. Suzy, thanks for your time as well. Always a pleasure having you on.
Good stuff, Mark.
Awesome. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
See ya.